Bad news, Adam Biggers, you scumbag liar. You said Kade McNamara is shutting it down. He's not going to ever suit up in Michigan uniform. He's transferring. That all might be true that he's transferring, right? That would be no surprise to anybody. But the surprise to you, Biggers, is you try to take a little swing at a home run. Guys like me, break news, you don't. Kade McNamara will be back in uniform, back on the sideline, available to play as Michigan's backup quarterback, right? He is one of the most accomplished quarterbacks in all of college football right now, the Big Ten champion, one of three quarterbacks playing right now that have been in a college football playoff as a starting quarterback, and he will be Michigan's backup for the next 5 games at least. I wouldn't be surprised if if Michigan does not make the college football playoff, if he were to depart after that. Not surprising. Wish Kade McNamara the best. Everyone will always be grateful for what he did from a leadership and a play perspective in 2021. But expect Kade McNamara to be back in uniform and available for Michigan's game on October 29th, coming up in 10 days against Michigan State under the lights at Michigan Stadium, folks. And it's 2022. And we just hit 22,000 subscribers. I asked you guys to get us there yesterday, and we've done like 100 subscribers since our show on Tuesday afternoon. So thank you so much to everyone who subscribed, over the last 3.5 years. Anyone who subscribed in the last day, you got us over the threshold of 22,000. I think that means Michigan's going all the way, right? It's fate. But we will announce next week a game week giveaways for hitting 22,000. So make sure you stick with us. The Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports. We are going to talk a little bit of recruiting. And people are talking Jim Harbaugh back to the NFL. It's all coming up right now. I am your host, James Yoder. You are watching the Michigan Football Report. We have quite a few things to talk about here on Bye Week Wednesday. Perhaps one of the most boring days of the year for any college football fan is the Wednesday of their team's bye week. But still going to try and keep it interesting for you guys. And that means we're going to talk some recruiting, right? Nyckoles Harbor, he was on campus for the Maryland game about, 4 weeks ago at this point. Have an update on him. But before we jump into that, let's get you guys to participate in today's show by telling me what is your favorite win over Michigan State, right? As a Michigan fan, what rings true to you as the best win that you can remember? I think there's probably a lot for everybody, right? You could point to 1997, Charles Woodson, the one-handed interception, and not that impactful in the grand scheme of things. How about 2004, the Braylon Edwards game? You're down 17 with 7.5 minutes left. You end up winning in triple overtime. 2016 was interesting. But how about 2018, right? Jim Harbaugh in his 4th year finally gets over the hump. He was like 0-8 or something like that against ranked teams on the road. And Michigan as a program had gone 12 years at that point with not having a win against a ranked team on the road. Michigan State was like number 20. Michigan went in there, Shea Patterson over the top to Donovan Peoples-Jones for what would turn out to be the game-clinching touchdown in that one. He did a little Paul Bunyan pose in 18 and then again in Michigan's blowout win in 2019. So let me know down in the comments which Michigan State victory is your favorite for your beloved Michigan Wolverines. How about Nyckoles Harbor? He was in town for the Maryland game, right? He is from the D.C. area, so in a lot of ways, Maryland is his hometown school. His finalists have been rumored over the past couple months to be Michigan, South Carolina, and LSU. But recruiting insiders from LSU and South Carolina in the last 24 hours have both put out articles that have said, we don't think he is likely to be a part of our class, right? Either the Gamecocks or the LSU Tigers class. Both specifically said, from what we're hearing, he is a heavy lean towards Michigan. Okay, good news, right? I don't necessarily have any inside info on this recruitment, so I don't want to give you guys any false hope that I've heard anything that gives Michigan any more hope or excitement around this recruitment. But what I think is interesting for him is, his high school coach called him the LeBron of high school football, not from a publicity or number one ranking, but from a sheer athletic perspective, right? He's 6'5", 230. He could be the number one wide receiver in the country if he was playing primarily offense. He could probably be the number one defensive end. And in a lot of ways, you could say he's both, given that he's the number one rated athlete, number 12 overall player in the country. If he comes in as part of this class, I think he'll start as a defensive end, but Michigan might be selling him on the opportunity to play a little bit of tight end, wide receiver here and there. And he wants to be part of a college track team, and he'll take up his springtime doing that. If Michigan lands him, maybe it helps these paltry recruiting ratings, because recruiting has really stunk this year for Michigan, which is wildly surprising coming off their best season, and some could say in 25 years in 2021 since the 97 national title team. 24/7 Sports has him ranked number 23 class in the country. ESPN, maybe they're doing Jim Harbaugh a favor by not making him look bad, number 14 class, I guess. But everybody else is pretty much inconsistent that they're not a top 20 class. Rivals.com has them as number 30, and On3, a new recruiting service in the last year or so, has Michigan's class as the number 26 rated class. I think there's got to be some concern with recruiting now, given the fact that Michigan lost a lot of momentum with Jim Harbaugh interviewing with the Vikings last year. And the entire recruiting department has really turned over almost 2 full times in the last 2.5 years. So a lot of those connections and such have lost, their luster for Michigan and high school athletes, high school coaches. So let me know what you guys think. Give me a 1 through 10 down in the comments. How concerned are you with Michigan's recruiting efforts? Let's just focus on this 2023 class for now. There's a lot of time till 2024. Scale it 1 through 10, with 1 being not concerned at all, 10 being up at the top that you're wildly concerned. One thing of note about Nyckoles Harbor before we jump on to the next story is he is not expected to be a spring or to be an early enrollee or a December signee. So this recruitment could last out until February. He intends to be a part of his high school classes or his high school spring track season and kind of propel him into what will be a successful football and track career, obviously, at Michigan. Jim Harbaugh to the NFL. The rumors are back. Kind of just a little play on words there. But Jim Harbaugh will be using this bye week to head back to San Francisco. Tim Kawakami, longtime beat writer for the 49ers, and has had a great relationship with Harbaugh over the years, says, Kyle Shanahan just texted me about having Jim Harbaugh back for the reunion in 2012 team. He says, it's awesome. I'm always a big fan of him. Jim Harbaugh to the NFL. He will attend the 49ers 10-year reunion of the 2012 season Super Bowl team that went and played against the Ravens. His brother John's team lost, a really roaring comeback. We're inside the 10-15 yard line with 4 shots at the end zone to win the game, came up short, and Jim Harbaugh went to the NFC title game a year after that. 8-8 season there, left 49ers, kind of got fired, I guess, and then was Michigan's head coach a day or two later. Here's what Jim Harbaugh texted to Kawakami about this reunion. I am coming to the reunion, looking forward to it. Now, what Kawakami has said in an article that he put out on this situation is that Harbaugh is they've got all kinds they've got all kinds of ex-49ers from that 2012 team. They're kind of honoring some 49ers legends. They're honoring a Hall of Fame inductee, but Harbaugh is the guy. He's the star. He's the prize. They actually moved the reunion to be this weekend specifically, 49ers hosting the Kansas City Chiefs, just to make sure Harbaugh didn't have any excuses that he couldn't attend because of what was going on with the Michigan season. So pretty good star power there for Harbaugh. Again, Kyle Shanahan, the current 49ers head coach, right? They went from Harbaugh to, who was the guy, the gym teacher, Jim Tomsula, to Chip Kelly. Those guys were absolute disasters, both fired after 1 year. And then Kyle Shanahan's done a hell of a job, took them to a Super Bowl, and then took them to a NFC title game last year. Shanahan and Harbaugh have had a lot of complimentary things to say to each other over the last few years, both being big-time admirers of the other one's running game. And in other ways, over the last couple of years, you could say these are the two offensive minds that have the best running games in the NFL and in college football. The stuff that Harbaugh is doing, we're going to do a few screenshots and show you a little bit about the different pins and pulls and combos that Michigan's doing in the running game, is the best in college. And some are calling it actually the best that college football's seen in maybe 10-plus years. So we'll see how Michigan continues on with that running game. Jim Harbaugh's heading to San Francisco this weekend, so clearly he is taking advantage of his bye week. He's headed to an NFL game. I'm not a big NFL fan. I don't know about you guys, right? I think college football is so much more exciting, and I think this year really points to it. The NFL season has stunk. This college football season has been awesome, at least for Michigan fans. So if you like college football, like I do, better than the NFL, give me a like on today's video. Let's see how many of you guys agree with me. College football, the better of the two weekend football products on Saturday and Sunday. Go ahead and give this video a like. Is Michigan potentially the most dominant team in college football? I like to look at these deeper stats and analytics and third down conversions and red zone and all that different stuff. So we're going to talk to you guys about that here in a second. But with these rumors of a Michigan football blowout, right, with everything talking about all blue under the lights versus Michigan State next Saturday, I thought I'd let you guys know about this awesome Michigan football jacket that I found on sale. It's normally like, what is it, $109, $109.99. It's on sale for $87.99. So you guys go to the link down in the comments in the description of this video. You see it right there on screen as well. chatsports.com/mjacket. A really great long sleeve jacket. It's got the, what do you call these things? Kind of the puffer things and the awesome Maize M logo. If you want to rock something for the Blue Out, if you're going to the game or if you'll be out in town, it's going to be the Saturday of Halloween weekend. You might be out having some fun with friends watching the game. Wear this jacket. Support the potential Blue Out cause. chatsports.com/mjacket. Back to the deep analytics, the stats that everyone likes to talk about around college football, especially on bye week where there's not a ton to look forward to as a program. Saw this come across my Twitter feed. It's which college football teams play at the with the lead the most of their snaps throughout this season. Number one in the streets is the Michigan Wolverines. Have played 83% of their snaps so far this year with the lead. And funny enough, Michigan had only been trailing in the past half in one game so far this season, and then they play Penn State, and Penn State kicks a field goal. And now they're actually, if you guys recall, trailing Penn State for a few snaps in the second half in that one. But Michigan, 83% of the times they've snapped the ball on offense so far this season, they have been in the lead. Second place in that, which will be second place in the, this might just be the Big Ten East standings towards the end of the year. Number two will be Ohio State, 81.7. Then Syracuse, big time surprising season. They have a chance to make a introduction to the world this weekend. They play Clemson. Ole Miss undefeated as well. And then USC, who dropped their first game Saturday night at Utah on a 2-point conversion. We are talking more Blue Out. If you saw yesterday's show, there is a lot of chatter out there. It started with fans, then it started with Swanky Wolverine, the uniform insider of Michigan Twitter, putting out the Blue Out edit over top. And now it's getting a little more real, folks. Late last night, Will Johnson, Michigan's 5-star freshman cornerback, says, Blue Out versus MSU. Okay, cool. He's saying that. And then the official Michigan student section account, the Maize Rage, that has made a lot of waves at basketball games, maybe more than football games, just getting rowdy and wearing maize. They say it's official. Blew out the big house, and they use those like icy emojis and some hashtags, Michigan State on the clock, Blew Out, beat MSU, etc. I love this overhead edit. I don't know who did it, so if you were the one who created it and you're watching and I don't give you credit, I apologize. So put it in comments if the link to it, and I'll give you credit on the next show. I've had people call me out. I made that edit. You didn't give me credit, so I don't want to make sure we're not doing that one here. It's not official, though, okay? It's not official yet. I know the Maize Rage is saying that it's official. I know Will Johnson, and there's been 3 or 4 other players that have tweeted it. We just didn't have enough time to put those all on the show today. Blew out this, blew out that. It's a fan thing. It's a student thing. The official university account, and they haven't officially announced it. So I don't have any inside info on this yet to give you. I don't want to put my name on something and rubber stamp it until I'm very certain, right, that it's going down. But I hope it does. I also hope that means that Michigan wears either all maize or maize jerseys, kind of contrast what they did this past week against Penn State. So keep an eye out for that one. If you're going to the game, make sure you're rocking some blue, and then Michigan will be wearing all maize jerseys or maize uniforms or just the maize jerseys. Want to ask you guys this question to wrap up today's show, because I tweeted something out on Sunday or Monday. I said, it's a shame that Blake Corum is only going to be Michigan's starting running back for one season, which is probably this season. In all likelihood, whether he's a second-round pick, first-round pick, third-round pick, I think it's pretty much general consensus he's going pro after this year, his third year. He got the COVID-shortened season where he didn't play a ton. He split snaps, deservedly so, with Hassan Haskins last year. Haskins was the starter. He was the backup. And now he's the starter this year. I feel that in another era, Blake Corum could have been a 2 or 3 year starter and could have had 1,600 yards, 1,800 yards, etc. in back-to-back seasons, maybe a little bit higher up on the ranking. So I put that out there. A lot of people agree with me. I said it's a shame there's only one season starting running back, and he does this every game, running long runs down the sideline, scoring a touchdown every single game this year. He's not going to be considered the best running back in Michigan history because he's only going to be a one-year starter. But for one season, he might actually be Michigan's best running back. But let me know who you guys think. The best running back in the history of this program. A lot of you will say Mike Hart. A lot of people will say Anthony Thomas or Chris Perry or even going back Tyrone Wheatley or anyone like that. Prior to that, I'm not sure if anyone really ranks up there. But let me know. The debate will continue. I am going to kind of take a consensus. I'll dive down in the comments and debate some of you guys if you say anybody other than Blake Corum, because I think that's who I'm picking here at this point. All right, we have got a bunch of content coming up. We're going to have a video for you Thursday, Friday, and maybe even this weekend you'll see. Until I see you guys, though, next time, go Blue.